Hi again, everyone. Chad Harberts on the Sports Guys Iowa Network. Excited to be talking more basketball. We just wrapped up the winter sports season. Such a great last few weeks with state wrestling, girls basketball, boys basketball. So many fantastic finishes all around the state. The caliber of athletes we have in Iowa now, better than they've ever been before. Certainly the caliber of team play was elevated at state championship time, and we saw some fantastic finishes at all levels of wrestling and boys and girls basketball. Today, we're very lucky to have a special guest, Ryan Schultz, the head coach of the Cedar Falls Tigers, who guided his team to the program's third state championship with that big win over Johnston. Happy to be joined now by the head coach of the 4A state champion Cedar Falls Tigers, Ryan Schultz. Hi, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
Hey, spring break week, I want to know, do you take the trophy around Cedar Falls like it's a Stanley Cup and showing off in the businesses? What do you do in spring break?
It's a good idea. I should do that. Just kind of laying low this week. Yeah, we didn't make any plans, and it's been great to catch up on some sleep and some family time, but also hear from a lot of people and catch up with a lot of people. So it's just been a nice week.
That should be the new normal for state championships, though. Let the kids parade it around town. Let you parade it around town. I like it.
That would be fun. That's a good idea.
Coach, 9 state tournament appearances, 3 state titles now. There isn't a lot of coaches in Iowa history that have gotten to 3. So first of all, how's that feel?
I don't know if it's sunk in yet. I mean, you're still kind of pinching yourself with just the fact that we were able to get through and break through this year and bring another one home. So I haven't really thought about historical aspects of it, but you say it and it's awesome. I don't know really what that means yet, but it's a great accomplishment, and it's on the backs of a lot of great kids and a lot of great coaches.
It wasn't easy getting there. This Johnston team, who only averages about 7 3-pointers made per game, makes 10 in the first half and got you down pretty big. Talk about just kind of processing the way they shot it in the first half, the way you're trying to play catch up.
Yeah, in the moment, it's just such a sinking feeling when you feel like, you're ready to go, but then a team just catches fire like that. And so you're sitting on the sideline, and I think you're trying to think of just ways to stop the bleeding. We threw a little 3-2 zone that we had messed around with a little bit in practice, but we had been a predominantly man-to-man team all year. We really hadn't played any zone. So you really don't want to go too far outside of your comfort zone too early in a game, but yet you're wondering if you just need to change things up. So it's a sinking feeling when that's going on, but at the same time, we knew it was still early. I think you're just thinking of ways to claw back and keeping your team engaged.
It seemed like, at least early on, their game plan will obviously be physical, but also dare you to beat them at the free throw line, because you did not have a great year shooting free throws as a team. Bottom half of the Mississippi Valley, though you shot them unbelievably well in the state title game, but it seemed like that was their strategy. Let's make them beat us in different ways.
Yeah, and obviously a good strategy, because you're right. We were struggling all year, and we had kind of talked about, I sure hope that doesn't come back to bite us at the wrong time. Nice to see, to the contrary, it went the other way. But we did spend a lot of time in practice. We did a lot of work with some pressure free throws and just getting to the line a little bit more. So I think getting our rhythm there helped. But to do it under the lights in the big game, that's another thing. I was very proud of how we shot it at the free throw line, but also a great strategy on their part.
Now, I looked you up earlier today. You were a fantastic free throw shooter as a high school player. Does that drive you nuts that your team isn't as good at free throw shooters?
Well, you probably had to look hard for that stat. That's going back a ways. I don't know. It not really drives me nuts. You just feel like I know how good those kids can shoot it. You see it all the time. They shoot it well in every other facet, so you know it's within them. I think a lot of it was just getting the line more, getting some rhythm, getting some confidence and things like that. So it's just one of those things that you have to make free throws in big games. That's one of the, along with rebounding and not turning the ball over, those are kind of the big 3.
Championship game, Will Gertis only takes 4 shots, makes all 4 of them, but goes 11 of 12 from the free throw line, leads the team in scoring. Talk about his contributions in that game.
Well, we talk a lot about the gravity that some players have in our history, and Will has that. But he's going to be the number 1 guy on everybody's scouting report. He and Jaden obviously kind of took that bill this year. But that's the thing. I think when you have a player that commands that much defensive attention, you saw the double teams. The thing I was proud of Will for is the physicality that Johnston brought with the double teams and Will's ability to not get frustrated with it, play through it, and then get himself to the foul line and do such a tremendous job. It just speaks to how many ways that Will can beat you. Again, it's another way that he's really increased his repertoire and the things that he can do on the basketball floor.
The 3 state tournament games, he averages 25 points, 8 boards, shoots 82% from the field and 79% from the free throw line. You couldn't ask for much more than that.
You can't ask for anything. It's just those are numbers that they're almost fairy tale numbers when you hear them. If somebody speaks that way, especially in 4A basketball at the level that he's playing at. And like I just mentioned, with all the scouting reports and all the attention that's being thrown his way, to do that in the face of all that is just incredible.
Jaden Kimbrough did not shoot the ball probably as well as you expected in the state title game, but he was laying out for loose balls. He was matched up with guys physically, and he hit some clutch shots when he needed them.
Yeah, that's the thing about Jaden, and I've been talking about it a lot this year. If you watch Tiger basketball over the last 3 years, no one has improved and learned how to affect the game in a variety of ways more than Jaden has. He led us in steals this year. Tremendous physical defender, rebounds the basketball, shoots it so well. Again, you talk about the gravity that Will has, the ability that Jaden has to extend the defense because they have to go out and guard him to the NBA 3 line. And then this, the clutch aspect and the confidence and the leadership and the no quit. He was one of the main guys that when we went into halftime, that was just so positive with everybody and just saying, we're still in this thing. Let's go out there and fight and be us, claw back. And I'm just so proud of Jaden.
Somebody asked me before these games started, how does Cedar Falls win it? And I said, one of the key factors, Leighton Wolf gets to double digits. Because when Leighton Wolf gets to double digits, it means he's hitting the offensive and defensive glass. He's controlling the inside. This game, he gets double digits, and he hits that giant three-pointer in the fourth quarter to give you a little cushion.
Yeah, I can't say enough about him as well. He's kind of the unsung hero in certain ways, even though a lot of people know about him. It's just he does everything for us. It was nice to see him show his ability to score it and his clutch ability as well in that last game. He hit 2 big threes. The last one was just a dagger. He hit the step back one a little bit earlier, and then he hit that big one when time was running down, probably under 2 minutes. And again, for somebody to step up in that atmosphere at that time, to hit that shot, those shots, but then to do what he did all year. I mean, he was, at one point, he was top 5 in assists in the state. As a big to lead your team in assists, I think he was second in rebounding, third in scoring. And he's just such a smart, cerebral kid, a leader. If you saw him on the bench in the title game, he's the one talking. He's the one that's kind of being a coach out on the floor. So again, just glad he's on our team and so happy to see him hit those 2 big ones.
Is the genesis of this 25-0 state championship run start with the disappointment of carrying that number 1 ranking all of last year, but then losing in the state semifinals?
I think when you look back, that's a part of it. I do think there was some hunger coming back from our guys that made it down there. You're talking Carson and Leighton and Will and Jaden that had all been a part of that and come so close. And I think everybody thought we had a legitimate chance. We had a rough game. We got out physical, I think, in that game. Didn't shoot it particularly well. And I think that left a little bit of a bad taste in everybody's mouth that experienced that. I think it starts there. When you look back, I think there's probably some motivation that comes from that. But then every year is just such a different team. We're so different than we were last year. Both great teams, but we did it a lot differently. Last year, we were a little smaller. We weren't as physical. We got out and pressured a lot more. It was all about turning people over. Really shot well from the perimeter last year. This year was a little bit more of a grind you, more physical inside-out team. But yeah, I think that motivation definitely goes back to last year.
A lot of people I saw from the statewide media standpoint want to talk to you about the 18 team and the 19 team. And obviously, there's very few coaches in America who say they coached a current starting NBA player and a current starting NFL player. Yeah. You're one of those guys with AJ Green and Jack Campbell. And I'm wearing my AJ Green t-shirt today, actually.
I love it. I saw that. I love it.
But the other part of this thing that kind of got overlooked a little bit by a lot of the statewide people is you had older siblings of these guys on the 18 and 19 teams. Ben Gertis was one of the top scorers in the 18 team. Logan was the leading scorer on the 19 team. So How was it for these younger brothers to match up to what their older siblings had done?
Well, first, I think it's pretty cool that they did. I'm sure within families, there's some of that bragging rights and sibling rivalry stuff going on. That's kind of fun now. But I think the bigger picture to that, too, is I do think when you have little kids as younger brothers and they're watching their older brothers do these things, I think number one, it's pretty cool that it instills some belief that they can get to that level and do those things, which has been great for our program. But then you mentioned a couple just outstanding families and their support, and they've been around athletics and done some great things. But yeah, you harken back to those guys were awesome. Ben, I still remember him coming out of the gate in that 2018 championship game, and he hits a big three, hits a big two, gets us off to a great start. Ended up playing football, Drake. And then obviously you've got Logan and Landon as well, two other
Right.
Wolf brothers. But Logan, that was a huge part of both of those teams. It's cool to see the success. I got to talk to those guys after the game, which was outstanding as well, just the ties between those different teams.
And for me, being at the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier, being a Metro at a Metro paper, I brought it to you in the post game, but you and Courtney Henderson go pretty far back. In fact, again, I was doing a lot of digging this morning. January 15, 1993, Cedar Falls 84, Waterloo East 81. Ryan Schultz leading scorer with 26 points. Courtney Henderson with 15 points for the Trojans.
Boy.
You guys go back to being high school players against one another.
Yeah, and I remember him well. I was just a touch older, so maybe I got the best of him just because of that one. But he was a tremendous player, and ever since he started coaching, he's done a terrific job. Known for his defense. You can see all the outstanding sets and actions that he runs. I got a chance to watch finally the replay of the game, and I just love his demeanor on the bench as well. So just a terrific coach, and it is fun. You think back to how it all started way back in the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area.
So you played against him in high school, but also you coached against him when he was at Waterloo West.
Yeah, just briefly before he went down to the Des Moines area. But yeah, I remember him there, and already he was a tremendous coach.
And people say that know better than I do because I wasn't around, but his teams now look like those Steve McGraw teams from the Waterloo East days.
And they do. And I had so many people talk about that leading into this championship game that, man, this looks like the old Waterloo East teams, the physicality and the athleticism and the discipline involved in it all. And I definitely think that it really harkens back to his coach in high school and some of that style. And then he's added even more to it. So just kudos to him for doing what he does, taking his program to that height.
Before I let you go, it is NCAA tournament week. The games have started, and Trey Campbell, who took your team to 3 state tournaments in 2021 and 22, starring for the Panthers now, you and I, taking them tomorrow against St. John's. Just your thought. It's not your first time you're watching a former player of the NCAAs, but your thoughts on him starring right down the street and getting you and I back to the NCAAs for the first time in 10 years.
First, it's awesome, but it's not surprising if you know the kid. He's just a fantastic kid, but he's also a great basketball player. Some people were asking me about him the other day, and I was just I went back and looked at some of the things that he accomplished. We do a toughness chart every year on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and he was the only one, and you mentioned some great players, the only one that's ever won both sides of it, and he did it 2 years in a row. He was our leading scorer his senior year, but also led us in every other single category. And he went away as the career assist leader, along with being one of, I think, 7 1,000-point scorers that we've ever had in our history. So when you talk about the all-time greats at Cedar Falls, his name ranks right up there. But to see it happen for him and to get to the big dance and for him to be such a central figure to you and I's success, it's just awesome. Just so happy for him. Just so proud of him.
So how soon do you start thinking about the fact that you're graduating 4 starters and you got to replace a bunch of kids for next year?
Yeah, soon, very soon. It's amazing. We kick this thing up again. We'll start spring meetings very soon in April. And so you do start to turn the page pretty quickly. The nice thing, we'll get to enjoy this a little bit. There's still some celebrating left to do. But yeah, you turn the page pretty quick. We've done it before. We've been through it. But boy, it's a big hole. I mean, you got 4 great ones that are leaving your program. But I think with every group that leaves a mark like these guys did, I think it just creates even more inertia and hunger for success. And I hope that guys just see that, and going all the way down into our program, into our younger ranks too. I think we've got a lot of talented kids coming up, but when they see those things, I hope it just makes them want to strive for more. And I think we've got a nice crew coming back next year. We've got some we've got some guys that have been around now with Carson and Mason, and a talented junior class that was undefeated as sophomores. So I don't think the cupboard's bare, but there is definitely a lot to replace.
Well, Ryan, I appreciate the time. I got to see you play, I don't know what, 6 or 7 times this year. Always enjoyed it. Always enjoy that you and the kids give me all the time after the game. So congratulations on another state championship, your third one. And thanks so much for being on with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for all your coverage this year. It's been outstanding. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Enjoy the basketball, okay?
Thank you. You too. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone, for watching the Chad Harberts Show here on the Sports Guys Iowa Network. We'll see you next week, and we'll turn our attention towards the spring sports season. Have a good one, everyone.